The tomb was opened, but the dead were not silent. As the golden mask of Tutankhamun captured the imagination of the world, something else was quietly capturing headlines: a trail of untimely deaths following in the wake of the excavation. By 1923, just a year after the tomb's discovery, at least 6 individuals directly connected to the dig had died under mysterious or sudden circumstances. Whispers of the Pharaohs' curse were no longer just tabloid fodder, they had become an international obsession. Among the dead were Carter's friend and financier, Lord Carnarvon, a member of his excavation team, George J. Gould, and even Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, the radiologist who performed the first X-ray on Tutankhamun's body. Reed had insisted the mummy showed signs of a blow to the head. He died shortly after making that claim. For some, this was coincidence. For others, it was divine retribution. Enter Lena Halbrook, a sharp-tongued British journalist with a reputation for chasing the truth through storms of superstition. A skeptic by nature, Lena originally traveled to Egypt to write a story about colonial greed and archaeological theft. But something about the tomb pulled her deeper. At first, Lena dismissed the curse narrative as media hysteria. The real curse, she would quip, is a British passport in a sandstorm. But her tone began to shift as she dug deeper, into the tomb, and into the lives of those who died after touching it. Her first lead? A forgotten interview transcript from Lord Carnarvon's nurse. The night he died, she said, he screamed, "They've come for me," before falling into delirium, claiming he saw a shadow in gold standing by his bed. Then came a string of odd coincidences. Phil'd Circle, a Belgian archaeologist who helped catalog the tomb's artifacts, was found dead in his hotel, surrounded by sand despite having never left the room. Phil'd Circle, a museum curator who handled Tutankhamun's sandals, was hit by a tram in London. Witnesses claimed he stumbled into the street, like something was chasing him. The most disturbing pattern? All of the victims had encountered one specific artifact, a small, seemingly insignificant scarab amulet, found clutched in the boy king's mummified hand. The scarab, once thought to be purely symbolic, bore an inscription Lena couldn't translate, but would soon come to fear. Lena's curiosity turned to obsession as she began tracing connections between the artifacts, the deaths, and the inscriptions in the tomb. One night, she stood alone in a desert dig site, holding a fragment of papyrus recovered from a nearby burial shaft. It read, "Let not the breath of the thief remain in his throat. The silence will claim him. The sand will speak." The next morning, her interpreter vanished. Lena could no longer deny it, something ancient had been awakened. But this wasn't just a curse. It was a message. The Pharaoh's tomb hadn't just been guarded by time. It had been protected by design. And now, Lena Halbrook was the only one still listening to the whispers in the sand. Blank, _blank.